Good morning, everyone. So I've just woken up and I am going to go straight downstairs and have breakfast, because if I don't eat as soon as I get up, I feel really sick, and it's also really good for your metabolism to feed your body as soon as you wake up, or within like the first 20 minutes. So let's go eat.
Damn.
So for meal number 1, I have porridge oats with almond milk, a protein shake and some almond butter. But before anything touches my lips, I always have about half a litre to a litre of water. It just kickstarts your metabolism, and obviously you know water is very important. I tend to drink a lot. I drink about 3 to 4 litres of water a day. Then I will take my multivitamin. These are orange flavour. They basically cover the A to Z of vitamins and help with anything that I'm missing. Then I will take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. A lot of people don't like this and will mix it in with water to disguise the taste. But the weirdo that I am, I really enjoy this, so I just take a gulp from the bottle. Actually really nice. So for my porridge, I have 60 grams of porridge oats. These are rolled oats, and I don't like my porridge with water just because I don't think it tastes nice at all. I've tried it. So I will have 200 millilitres of plant-based milk. In this instance, it's actually almond milk. I don't use semi-skimmed or skimmed milk. Number 1, just because of the calories, and plant-based milk is a lot better for you. It has more added vitamins, etc. Then I will have a protein shake. This is just whey protein powder. I have chocolate caramel, and I always get my protein shakes and powders from MYPROTEIN, just because, well, I've always got them from there. The nutrition content is really good for what I need. It's quite low in carbs and sugars and fats, and obviously high in protein, which is what you want in a protein shake. And I just really like all the flavours that they do, so all my kind of supplements are always from MYPROTEIN. So porridge, I will have almond butter. I could actually eat the whole tub of this. I love almond butter, so I always measure it out, and I have 20 grams of almond butter with my porridge. And I flavour it. So if I'm not having almond butter and it was just to be plain oats, I have a really sweet tooth, so I use flavdrops from MYPROTEIN again. These are toffee, and these are literally unbelievable. I have so many flavours. They're 0 calories, 0 fat. You just put a few drops in your porridge and it tastes amazing. So that is meal number 1. So now it's time for meal number 2. So this is usually my pre-workout meal. So it's a mixture of carbs and protein that are essential for my workout. So I just have a tortilla wrap, and this one's wholemeal, but I do have seeded or white sometimes, and 100 grams of chicken. Now a lot of people prep differently. I tend to prep my chicken like this. So I will have a set day in the week where I'll cook loads of chicken breasts and just leave it in a big pot in the fridge, so that when I need it for each meal, I'll just weigh out. But some people use just like Tupperware and have each meal that they will eat prepped, but I find this easier because I'm not always on the go. If I am inside at home, I will have this. That is too much chicken. Now I have a extremely unhealthy obsession with ketchup. I will eat ketchup with absolutely anything. And when I say anything, I even have ketchup on my roast dinner, which I know a lot of people will be frowning about now, but that's just me. So I use Heinz, obviously, there's no better ketchup to use, but it's obviously quite high in salt and sugar. So I have the no added salt and sugar ketchup, and if you actually look at the nutrition content on the back, it's not too bad. It's 6 calories per 15 grams, so a little bit of ketchup in your wrap's not gonna hurt. And then I put it in the microwave and have that as my pre-workout. But also, because I'm on a high carb day today, I will have 2 rice cakes with my pre-workout meal, but that obviously changes depending on what kind of carb day I'm on. So the next meal that I will eat is chicken, rice and vegetables. I am using my batch of chicken that I cooked earlier. I feel like I'm on Art Attack. Here's one I made earlier. 100 grams of that. 150 grams of basmati rice. I use basmati rice, Mexican rice. Sometimes I'll have brown rice. Saying that, I've run out of basmati, so I'm using brown rice. 150 grams of carbs and some roasted vegetables. So I've got peppers, carrots and onions that I roasted yesterday. And that is meal number 3. So we are back in the kitchen and it is time for meal number 4. So meal 4, I tend to have my fatty meats. So that could be salmon, mince, red meat, just a meat that contains healthy fats. So that's omega-3s, fatty acids, not saturated fats. They need to be unsaturated fats. So I have here salmon that I just flavoured with garlic and chilli. I have Mexican rice, 150 grams of that, and we have greens. So I have green beans and broccoli. I actually don't like vegetables, and I've trained myself to like them by hiding the taste with ketchup, and I think that's might be why I am addicted to ketchup. So this is meal number 4. We are back in the kitchen again. I honestly feel like this is a full-time job. I am constantly eating every 3 hours. It's crazy. So this meal is 100 grams of chicken, 150 grams of rice and vegetables. And this is my last sort of meat meal for the day. So the very last thing I will have is Greek yogurt, 0% fat before bed. This is because Greek yogurt contains a protein called casein, which is a slow digesting protein. So as you sleep, it's releasing protein slowly. So it's really good to have just before bed. So I have this changes 200 or 300 grams of Greek yogurt. Make sure it is actually Greek yogurt and not Greek style yogurt, because Greek yogurt has more protein. I add these, and I forgot to mention earlier that I do put these in my porridge as well to flavour it. So this is flavoured which are MYPROTEIN. You can get them in so many different flavours and they are literally unbelievable, especially if you have a sweet tooth, which I do. It just tastes ridiculous. And you can put them in coffee or anything. I have, that one's toffee flavoured actually, but I have got like maple, vanilla, loads of different ones. I just mix it in. And then I add fruit. So normally like 100 grams of berries is absolutely fine. Now, I'm also a weird one with fruit. I have a funny thing about textures. So I can only eat like grapes, blueberries, or anything that's like squishy frozen. So I have frozen blueberries or frozen raspberries or frozen strawberries, because I can't eat them if they're not frozen. So I will have 100 grams of these, which is actually quite a lot of berries. And, God, more stuff. 15 grams of protein. Now, you can put this in yogurt, but it really is dependent on the flavour of protein that you've got. And this is chocolate, so this will be alright. And strawberry tastes really good. But if you've got any like coffee flavoured or weird flavours, I wouldn't recommend it. So that goes in the yogurt as well. And then that is my final meal of the day.
So that is pretty much what I eat in a day. Obviously, I said earlier it's subject to change depending on what kind of carbs I'm on. So I will film another video when I'm on a lower carb day, just so you can see the comparison. I do eat pretty clean, but I am a chocoholic, so I do enjoy my meals at the weekend. And I tend to have sort of one cheat meal, one chocolatey thing a week. But that's pretty much what us bikini prep athletes go through. And I also drink about 3 to 4 litres of water during the day as well. And another coffee if I need a little pick-me-up. But yeah, I have extremely sweet tooth, so I try and substitute that with natural sweeteners and flavourings. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe to my channel for more content.
Damn. Yeah.